were waves of invitations that came into the mayor's office for us to attend different events around the city, and we thought that it would be good to not only attend those events but create one ourselves. So we decided to assemble different community leaders and get together to assemble 450 care packages for the homeless, and we're going to drop them off at 3 different shelters after we get those packages together. But in the city of Wilmington, we have a pretty large population of people that don't have homes, and the mayor wanted to get a point across that they are important. Those are people that he does, care for their well-being. So we wanted to, in targeting that population, we had a discussion like, what population are we going to serve? What population is most underserved, and how can we work to make sure that we contribute somewhat to their well-being? So the homeless population was most important for us. So we're in that population. We're targeting men, women, and children.
This is the most special day in a lot of ways in the entire year. When you think about the number of celebrations and the number of events that go on in remembrance of the life of Dr. King, we don't have this many events on July 4th. We certainly don't have them for Washington's birthday, Lincoln's birthday, but here we are remembering this life. And I will tell you, as somebody who will not stop from morning to night today, there are so many things going on because people feel so strongly about this magnificent day. I don't know what we can do about this whole country. I can't help what goes on halfway across the country, but I know what we can do is change the way things are in Wilmington. And I can't do it by myself. So when I come here and I see all of you here on a day like today are willing to put yourselves out to commit a kindness for young folks who don't have as much as everybody does, I think it just speaks to what kind of a community we have and how valuable you all are.
So today in Hedgeville, Parkway Academy North, along with I Am My Sister's Keepers, they're throwing their 7th annual MLK Day of Service. Now, their day of service, I know it's January, no one wants to be outside, but they are committed to making certain that they serve and put their hands to the plow and get things done within our neighborhood. And I'm very grateful for this community cleanup. And we have lots of turnouts from different schools, some community people, and as well as the organizations, Parkway Academy students, and the I Am My Sister's Keepers. I actually wanted to make certain more of the community members knew about what was going on, because I lived in this community and wasn't really aware of it until like maybe the past 2 years. So it was more so outsiders coming to clean up for us. So I wanted to make certain that the community was aware of what was going on so that they can put their hands to work as well. Martin Luther King Jr., he was a servant, and we wanted to make certain that we serve our community as well as one another. So I'm hoping that these people come out, we will do work together for one another and for this community, and hopefully the community will see what's going on and they will see it as a one-up for us.
Everyone is here today because everyone can't, as quoting what Oprah said, everyone cannot be famous, but everyone can be great, and be great by being of service to others. So that's what you see. You see all of these people here today to be of service to the community of Hedgeville. Because Dr. Martin King was about being of service to others. And this is what we're teaching our kids. And the more about it is that we have a variety, a diversity of people, backgrounds, organizations that came together for a great cause, celebrating the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King today.
In this state, I like to be in the gym. You know what I mean? Throw the rock to somebody, watch y'all trip over each other. Everybody feel good? Am I the only one know that it was no parking out there? Am I the only one know? Am I the only one that got to pay when I leave here? I'm mad. Man, you better give me a validation or something. After the holiday, my pockets is not like that. We have some great panelists that's in the building. So without further ado, I'm not going to go too far. I don't know why Earl went all the way down there to get a drink of water, because he didn't give me an itinerary. So I know he's going to have to cue me on what he wants us to do next.
I'm really thrilled to be here. You know, I said before, it's a funny thing about this day. It's unlike any day in the calendar. We've been to 7 events today, and I guarantee I could have made 7 more if I had time. People have such reverence for this day all across the country. And I thought about other places. I said, well, we must do things on George Washington's Day. No. How about Lincolnsburg? No.
We've got a couple of different programs which allow us as officers you don't normally see. I know for me it was new to find ways to help individuals get jobs, find ways to help individuals get services for their children. So this unit and what I've been doing lately, I joined this unit back in July, but it is all about just finding a way to fulfill people's needs and having them understand and connect with the things that they might have been missing out on, or just getting them lined up on the path they need to be on.
Coming out to March for Peace because there is no peace yet in our city, and the work is here to do, and we're here to marshal our forces and join hands and strive together to bring about that peace that we've longed for so long. Until we get that perfect world where everybody can live in peace and unity, we still have work to do, and that's why we come out here.
I think it's important to have it every year just to kind of remind people, that we should be working together in a peaceful way to solve our problems. But I think this year is even more important than ever. It just seems when you turn on the news or anything, both nationally and throughout the world, it just seems to be so much talk about war and hate and even nuclear bombs that I think this year is probably more important than any year that we come together and start trying to talk and listen and try to come up with some solutions to these problems. I just think it's very important for us to come out and walk with our neighbors and the community to show our support on what is a very important day, Martin Luther King Day.
Coming out on Dr. Martin Luther King's Day, a man who stood for peace, I think is important to show the community there are people that care and still stand up for his beliefs. What he stood for, peaceful coexistence, working together, ending racism. That's what this march is about, and bringing peace.
This is now my third march. I've been here for the last 2 years prior to, know the importance of trying to promote peace in the city, and I wanted to make sure that I always come out and support it.
This is a perfect time for us to demonstrate, not just by talking, but showing our young people what it means to do community service and to be involved and have their voice be heard. And that's the most important part. We need to hear from this generation of what their wants and from their perspective, from their voice, what we as the leaders of the city should be doing to make sure that there's a great future for them to grow. It's excited to see everyone come out for these types of activities. But I really hope that everyone who maybe could not come could come to the table to our civic association meetings, neighborhood planning council meetings, and any type of civic gathering where we can put our minds together, pool our resources to address the issues. Because I believe we are such a rich community that we do have what's necessary to make a difference, but it only works when we come together in a united, powerful way.
Thank you everybody for coming out. We really appreciate the support that we get from around the city of Wilmington on a regular basis. And let's keep the momentum from just not today on Martin Luther King Day, but also throughout the whole year.
Fly me to the moon, let me play amongst the stars, let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars.
This evening is the second annual Raising Kings Be Him Awards, and Be Him stands for Black History in the Making. We're honoring some extraordinary individuals this year: Dr. Ray Blackwell, Mr. Eugene Young, Coach Stan Waterman, and the Darrell Andrews family, and just individuals who are really representing the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King, not just with a day of service, but a lifetime of service.
If Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was here today, what would he say to all of us? What would he say to all of us? One thing that he said was that all of us can be great because all of us can serve. And so this holiday, this celebration, this day of reflection has become a day of service across our state.
We had 7 events in 7 days. And I know my wife, who's here this evening, as well as my children, can testify to the fact that they felt 7 events in 7 days. The work that I do is truly on behalf of our youth, not just within the city, but across the state. And no longer can we allow 197 shootings, 33 homicides define the potential, the efficacy, and the knowledge base, because we've had so many brilliant young men and young women this year show us the potential that the governor spoke to, the potential that the mayor spoke to, and the work that I know Council President Shabazz is integral in really trying to do with the Wilmington Advisory Council to reduce violence within the city of Wilmington. Again, let's not define ourselves by negative stereotypes. The whole purpose of Raising Kings is to uplift the image of our young boys and young men of color so that they can see that it's not about being an athlete. We had them in front of engineers, doctors, lawyers, and I think our panel of esteemed honorees this evening is a clear demonstration of the potential of our young men, our young kings. The moment we've all been waiting for, we're going to take this opportunity to recognize, again, our distinguished honorees.
I've always maintained that it's very important for young people to see the success that they aspire to achieve. I want to congratulate the esteemed and impressive group of honorees that I share the spotlight with tonight. As impressive as your resumes are, it's your character and your roles as husbands and fathers and leaders in the community that are equally and more important to me. Of course, I would be remiss on this day if I did not take an opportunity as we honor the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., if I didn't share a quote or two from one of the world's greatest heroes, and that would be Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. King said, "Whatever affects one directly affects us all indirectly. I can never be what I ought to be until you are what you ought to be." This is the interrelated structure of reality. That's what it is.
I think Dr. King left us several messages. One was, when you have these opportunities, you have to make the best of them. You have to not forget, and when you make it somewhere, try and bring someone with you. Because I want to do a lot of things, and I've been blessed, and I just want to share this with everyone that I can. So when I get these calls about young kids who want to learn about medicine, they want to spend a day with me in the operating room, I only know one answer, and that's yes. When I'm asked to speak at a high school or talk to young kids, I only know one answer, and that's yes. Because I've been blessed with success in a lot of areas, between athletics, academics, and all those things. But unless I do something with it, it's a gift. I have to give it away. And so I think that, as successful as I've been, I'm only going to be successful if I've changed the life of one young person in the world. And that I may not ever know that it happened, but I'm working every day to make that happen. So again, thank you for this opportunity. Let us remember Dr. King service every day, not just on his birthday. Every day of the year, we should be striving to do something for someone else.
Don't I have a beautiful family? And I'm a blessed man. My wife and I will be celebrating 24 years of marriage in August. And that's a miracle when you consider, we both come from divorced households. And, I was raised in poverty in Syracuse, New York, single mother, public welfare system. My father left home when I was 1 month old. And I made the commitment that when my time came to become a father, I was going to be a family man. And I'm sticking to that commitment. That's never going to change. That's the most important thing in the world to me.
We've all grown, but we have to continue to grow and to do more because more is expected of us. I tell people all the time, the greatest resource you can ever find is not in the ground, it's not with the wind, it is the children that we have amongst us. And we have to do better at treating them better and doing better by them, because I believe in this idea that if a child doesn't make it, it's never the child's fault, it's ours. So ladies and gentlemen, I thank you so much, humbled for this award. I wish you a wonderful 2018. Thank you again.